all right. Oh, welcome everybody to another BD Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the True North. It's your good friend, Mr. BDA, and I'm glad. That's right, I'm glad that everybody could be on board for this one, fellas. In this episode, we continue the festivities as we look forward to the Alexander Usyk Tyson Fury rematch taking place this Saturday. And I gotta tell you, it's gonna be a good one. I think a lot of people are excited over this one because the first one really delivered. I didn't expect it to be as entertaining as it was. And nevertheless, that's exactly what it was. So now Tyson Fury is talking about changing it up, and I'm intrigued. And I think a lot of people are intrigued. Worst case scenario, the people that hate Fury get their wish and they see him lose again, or boxing gets a bit of a surprise based on what happened last Saturday. Anything can happen. We had him in Munguia. So I suppose we see what happens. We're going to be taking your phone calls right from the get-go. The plan in this episode, it's a special episode. We're going to be on for about an hour, taking phone calls, and then the last hour, it's going to be Patreon, for Patreon. It's going to be free. We're going to post it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going on to the live chat, the Open Last Friday chat, and we're going to do a film analysis in that one. Now, we can't do it here because, restrictions, copyright, what have you. So we're going to be doing that off the air on the Open Lines Friday Discord, but we're going to be recording it so that we can then post it on the Patreon page, free of course, for everybody, free of charge. So that's about it for that. Remember, fellas, we don't have super chats anymore, so make sure to contribute via the Buy Me a Coffee app. That's the link in the description. Patreon as well. You can donate as low as $2 per month, and you still get, even if you don't donate, you still get free content. So make sure to head on over to Patreon. We recently posted, Bucha posted a bunch of videos that he recorded off the air as well. Olaf gave a more in-depth, dynamite, hard-hitting analysis of why he thinks Tyson Fury is going to win. And I'm going to tell you, he sounds pretty confident. So go on, scamper on over to this, what's it called again? Yeah, Patreon. Scamper on over to Patreon, move your keister meester, head on over there, have a good time. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe if you yet to do so. And don't forget, you can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and Spreaker at your leisure. Let's give a big shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm talking about Protectorate General, Quicksloth, Gene Ryu Jr. 33, Protectorate General, Real Talk Boxing, Kristen Mack. Who else we got here? Drunk Irishman. Let me just scroll up here. Hey, how come this thing's not moving? Okay. Rapax Drunken Company, shout out to Rapax 104, Antonio Hernandez, Frankie Sands, Quicksloth, Handsome Mechanic, Baz, HR12, HJ92, what the fuck, HR, Human Resource. I got Human Resource on my mind because the BDA Human Resources Department is up my ass. Shout out to Bray, Quicksloth. Many more people to come, I'm sure, fellas. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. All right, now let me just open up the phone lines because I have yet to do so. And then I want to talk about a couple of things. I got a lot of things to talk about while we wait for some phone calls here, so do not be afraid. There's a lot going on. We just had a Benavidez Morrell workout, which I don't understand why they did the workout or whatever it was today so early, and so with so much time between the fights. But evidently that's how they did it over there. So what do you want from me? Hey, what the fuck? Save and start show. Yeah, start my show. What's going on here? No host connection. Please connect the host. All right, so I'm setting up here.
Ready to connect. Click connect to show now.
The phone number is right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen, and I'm going to be putting it up on the big screen. I'm going to alternate that in increments so you guys can catch that phone number right there. Make sure to call in. Give us your predictions for the Usyk-Fury rematch taking place this Saturday. Now, one thing that I did want to bring up here as it pertains to boxing before we continue on with the whole Fury-Usyk shebang is that, unfortunately, the December fights keep on falling apart. First, it was Inoue versus Sam Goodman. Sam Goodman sustaining a cut. That fight was postponed to late January. And now we've got Ryan Garcia, who was supposed to have an exhibition of some sort. Fucking messages. Hold on a second. It's a very hectic show, so I can't be taking messages all the time here. All right. Hold on a second. I gotta open up. I believe we just received some sort of a donation here from Buy Me a Coffee, I believe. Let me just check here. Shout out to Frankie Sainz for his contribution with the super chat. He says, "Hey BDA, wanted to know your opinion on the powers that be putting a dress on Usyk a la Milton Berle, Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams. Also, many Afro-Anglos have done it too. Maybe a second Renaissance topic. I know also Jay Leno joined the Black Eye Club under weird circumstances. Look it up, BDA. Yeah, well, first of all, yeah, that's well documented on the internet that these celebrities, particularly Afro-Anglo celebrities, are made to dress as women in part of sketches or movies. But yeah, there is still a lot of guys who end up getting dressed up, white guys that end up getting dressed up as women in movies and sketches as well. So I think most people for some reason tend to focus on the Afro-Anglo aspect. But yeah, there's something weird going on there with Hollywood. And no, I did not see Usyk wearing a dress. I saw he was wearing some sort of long coat, which is sort of the same attire that's being worn by the Inquisitors of the Crimson Inquisition. We're working on that, by the way. I think it's going to be Hugo Boss are going to design those. As for Robin Williams, yeah, Miss Doubtfire dressing up like a woman. And Jay Leno, yeah, a lot of people speculating that Jay Leno, he's an Italian-American, probably was beat up by some people from those circles, if you know what I mean, Sicilian. But I don't know. I don't know. That's for second Renaissance. Shout out to everybody in the chat joining us. Let me just check the phone lines here real quick. And shout out to Frankie for his contribution. Frankie Sands. All right, checking the phone lines here. All right. So as I was saying, Ryan Garcia versus Rukia Ampo has been postponed, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because even though Ryan Garcia is still under suspension, or still suspended rather, in the United States, this was supposed to be an exhibition of some sort, but by all indications, they were talking it up as if they were really going to go at it, him and that Ampo dude, who seems to be a little insane, by the way. And then, of course, the fight fell apart. Now they're saying Ryan Garcia is suffering a wrist injury. I have to wonder, though, did someone from Ryan Garcia's camp or one of his handlers, managers, whatever, did they tell him, look, listen, since you're suspended, having an exhibition, it's actually going to, yes, technically it's not a fight on paper, but it's still, it looks bad. So maybe somebody, that's why they pulled the rug from under him and said, listen, you can't do this. I don't know. Or maybe he really is injured. The other thing, Bill Haney came out. Bill Haney now, he's got a hard on for the Garcias because, Ryan beat up his son. And Ryan Garcia, they call him a C-lister. They call him an Instagram model. And yet this guy was able to kick his ass. So Bill Haney commented and said, well, are you really injured or is it because you couldn't make the weight? And I said, you know what? That kind of makes sense because I don't know if you guys saw the video, Ryan Garcia hitting the Cobra bag. He looked thick, he looked solid, but he also looked a little bit fat, a little chunky. So I don't know, maybe he was having trouble making weight. And imagine if he would have missed weight again 2 times in a row. That would have been a very bad look, even for a guy like him who claims to be unbothered by such mishaps. But I don't know. By the way, I was really doing a lot of research for the Fury Usyk rematch, see what people are saying about that fight, experts and so on. Dylan White, who just recently had a fight on Sunday, I didn't see the fight, but from what I understand, he looked subpar for the second time in a row. And they were interviewing him on TalkSports. The guy sounds punch drunk. I think the fight, it's going to be the great fight. Oh, my goodness gracious. Hey, listen, it's a tough sport. And you expect that from fighters, but when you hear it for the first time, when you hear a fighter for the first time slurring his words, you go, oof, Madonna me. Tough business. What else was I going to say? So, yeah, we're going to be taking down predictions, fellas, so make sure to call in, give us your thoughts on anything and everything boxing. The phone number is right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was, like I said, we had David Morrell and Benavidez having some sort of an event. And I don't know what it was. It was an open workout or something? Maybe not an open workout, some sort of mini press conference. Again, I don't know. Regardless, it's immaterial to what we're about to see here because they got into a little bit of a brouhaha. They were jawing at each other, and Benavidez didn't seem to take too kindly to this, the back and forth. So anyway, this is what happened. You see Wes Watson there in the middle there with the hat. I made $20,000 in the last 5 minutes, guys. I'm not calling you out. I'm calling you up.
Things got heated again. Guys, let's calm down, please.
Let's calm down, please. Now, you'll notice that there's this dude here on the far right with the glasses who sort of looks like a porn producer. I've rubbed shoulders with a couple of these people in my lifetime, believe me. And look at this. So Benavidez pushes him, and the guy immediately comes forward as if about to do anything. What are you going to do, old man? What, are you going to stare at him with that weird stare that you get, with that weird look? Like you want him to audition for you or something? Look at it. He keeps going forward. What are you going to do? And then Morrell throws the belt at him, and Benavidez dodges it as if it's a knife. Look at that. I would have just slapped that shit away. It's like, okay, wow, what are you going to do? Then Wes Watson steps in. Then did you see the old guy? The old guy got confused because more people started getting involved. So he started focusing on them. And then he realized Benavidez is coming at him. And look at his reaction. Ooh. See that? He's like, ah. He's screaming, ah. He got scared, man. Oh, whoa. See how he backs up? Hey, cálmate. Pero cálmate, hermano, cálmate. I think he's Polish, that guy, by the way. So what do you guys think? Is Benavidez are Benavidez and Morrell really going at it? Is this to sell a fight? Or maybe it's both. Maybe they do dislike each other and they say, you know what, let's just roll with it to sell tickets. I don't know. I got to tell you, this type of stuff, we see it all the time, right? Year after year. It's kind of getting me excited a little bit for the fight. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that this type of stuff doesn't help the fights. By the way, look at Memo Heredia there with the little rascal hat on. Why is this dude trying to get involved as well? Look at him. Talking jive, talking smack. He's a big dude, by the way. He's a big dude, Heredia. He's got to be like over 6 feet tall. I mean, he's big for some people. Me, I'm looking at him like, I'm looking down at him, by the way. But yeah, for Mexican, Mexicans, the average height is about 5'9", I think. But the other thing I wanted to illustrate here by rewinding here, look at the sizes. I mean, I know Morrell probably is a little bit more on the four. No. They're standing at the same. They're standing at about the same in the same spot, and yet Morrell's head looks significantly bigger. I don't know if it's the haircut that's giving that illusion. I'm gonna 2 seconds. I'm gonna put my hand on my monitor here and block it. See if I'm. Nah, he still has a pretty big head. That's a big ass Cuban hamburger head. And Benavidez is a weird looking guy too. He's got a pretty big noggin too. He looks like the Frankenstein monster sometimes. But his melon pales in comparison to Benavidez's Easter Island head. Look at that. I mean, to Morrell's Easter Island head. Look at that. They're about the same size. This is going to be an interesting fight because we saw how Benavidez looked against the guy in Gvozdyk. Benavidez in the later rounds was kind of looking like Canelo did against Bivol, sort of arm weary. And we know that the caveat is that he wasn't with Memo Heredia, so Heredia wasn't giving him those special shakes that he gives his fighters. But at the same time, Morrell didn't look too hot against Raksha. What was his name? Rakshajic? The Serbian Cholo, as I like to call him. So, interesting fight. Interesting fight for sure. Speaking of Heredia, he actually went on Twitter to explain why he believes Morrell was so heated, even though it was Benavidez that pushed Morrell. So Memo's sort of skipping over that part, but this is what he had to say. Well, he had to say something, but apparently it's not letting me. I think he deleted the tweet because it's not letting me see it anymore. Ah, come on. Okay, so there was an equal sign that was screwing up the link. Here's what Memo Heredia had to say. He said, Team Morrell is extremely mad because Team Benavidez asked for VADA testing. It's incredible the storm shit, I think he meant shitstorm, that I'm getting from these scumbags. Oh, called them scumbags. Those are fighting words right there, if I ever heard any. We all for clean, but we all. What that does? Yeah, I know this dude is a Mexican national, I think, but come on, man. We all for clean boxing. The interesting thing about Memo Heredia, and if you guys rewind over to one of the episodes we did earlier this year, is when I was talking about Victor Conte, and I don't think Victor Conte should be anywhere near sports. If he wants to sell his CMA and his zinc supplements and all that to the average guy, absolutely. But when he gets involved in competition, in competitive sports, I don't want this guy around, because the whole thing about Victor Conte was that he designed PEDs, novel PEDs, that were undetectable. Okay, so remember, none of his athletes ever got caught via PED testing. They got caught because that dude from the IRS, I forget his name, sorted through the trash and found receipts and discarded emails of people asking Victor Conte, hey, can you re-up me for that steroid or that whatever they wanted? That's how they caught him. So all Victor Conte had to do to evade the same mistake was just stop throwing your trash, your receipts and your email in the trash. He's probably got a shredder now. He's probably got 2 shredders. I don't know if you guys have seen the Pantera MKV12. Oh, that's a nice shredder. You should see all the documents I'm shredding from the BD archive, especially if something ever happens, like the fall of Saigon, you're going to see me and Bucha taking a lot of papers from the BDA headquarters, and we're going to be shredding that. One of which happens to be Recognize the Matrix's contract. I see Recognize there in the chat. Shout out to Recognize. Yeah, believe me, your file is going in the shredder as well, so don't worry about that. But the reason why I've actually mentioned Victor Conte is because one of his right-hand guys was Memo Heredia, or Heredia Hernandez. I don't know what they call him now. This is the dude that was one of the real masterminds behind it, because he actually had degrees in bio something, right? Or sports science or something. So he was actually had more of a traditional schooling or education than Victor Conte, who was autodidact. And so Memo ended up pointing the finger at Conte too. He turned on him. He turned snitch. That's why he didn't go to jail. Now, the reason why I mentioned all of this is because Memo, in some interviews, has said something similar to what Conte said, in that one of the highs that they got from engaging in selling PEDs was getting away with it. Seeing all these guys breaking the records and getting away with it, making a fool out of WADA and all these other organizations. That's what got him off. It's what Soothsayer told me. It's called Duper's Delight. That's some real sociopath criminal stuff right there. So the fact that boxing, as Conte refers to it, the red light district of sports, still allows Memo and Conte to work with athletes. It's insane. It is absolute. Anyone with some common sense would. Dana White said it's insane that boxing lets this dude anywhere near any of their fighters. And I remember Devin Haney in that Netflix documentary about Conte. He goes, I hear a lot of people talking about Conte, and they're always asking questions. I don't pay any attention to it. Of course you don't pay any attention to it, because if you pay attention, you got to address the arguments, and that's an argument you can't win. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Don't forget to hit the like. The phone lines, are up and are running. So make sure to call in, give us your thoughts on anything and everything boxing. Specifically, or especially as it pertains to the Usyk Fury rematch, which again, I'm telling you, I'm very excited. And at about 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be shutting down here, and we're going to be heading over to the Open Lions Discord. I'm going to be posting the link later on, and we're going to be doing a special off-the-air film analysis. Well, I say it's not going to be live. Excuse me, I should stop saying off-the-air. I'm going to record it. We're going to chop it up, and we're going to put it in the Patreon for free. So you guys can look at it. And because I'm really interested in what happens if Fury fights in a more aggressive fashion, or tries to fight like he did against Wilder in the second and third fight. I'm not saying it's going to work, but we're going to be looking at, could it work? And if it does work, how is it going to look? And if it doesn't work, how is that also going to transpire? And I got some footage for both scenarios, or to illustrate both scenarios. So make sure to check that out. Make sure to jump in and join us off the air for that film analysis. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be posting the link in the description so you guys can join us. It's going to be a free-for-all. And hopefully I need some people who are picking Fury, because most of us are picking Usyk. I want some people to come in and try to convince us, or at least give it a good go, that maybe why Fury can win this bout. All right.
Would fighters there.
Oh, by the way, I was listening to watching rather, the face-off that was posted on the DAZN YouTube page 2 weeks ago, and that's between Usyk and Fury. But Frank Warren is sitting in the table. He's at the sit down. He's like a consigliere. You guys listen to what he says, and let me know if it sounds a little weird.
Would fighters there, they are thinking great fighters, and they got big hearts. They got big. Everything about them is big. They're big men. They got big hearts. They got big boxing intellect, and they're in the biggest fight. This is the biggest fight.
They got big everything. How does he know they got big everything? I don't understand, man. And the way it wasn't just, he didn't just say they got big hearts. Listen again to how he said it.
Two walk forward fighters there, they are thinking great fighters, and they got big hearts. They got big. Everything about them is big. They're big men. They got big hearts. They got big boxing intellect, and they're in the biggest fight.
I mean, this guy, he had to put the emphasis on the big. And then he was almost, you can also hear him start breathing heavier. Did you notice that? They got big hearts. They got big everything. They got big. They got big. It's like, oh, all right, Frank, come on, take it easy, man. I got to tell you, I saw a documentary once about the London Underground, criminal underground. A lot of these dudes are from prison, and that prison culture seems to intersect or interlap with some of that. So I don't know. I'm just saying, Frank Warren, you got to watch what you say. Even Fury was sitting next to him. Look, because I couldn't play the video, but I'm going to play you. Just see how Fury's looking down. It's like he's laughing. It's like, Frank, why don't you just stop it right there, before you keep going. All right, so that's, again, this, I mean, listen, it's with the build up to the fight, it's got everybody riled up a little bit. Nobody really knows at what weight Fury is going to show up. It seems like they're keeping that a surprise. I was watching another interview with one of Fury's brothers, the fat one with the curly hair. And they asked him, hey, what weight is Fury going to show up at? And he goes, well, you go ask him. And I think people have been asking him, and he said 294 pounds. So who knows? I don't know. Again, we were talking about that yesterday. I doubt he shows up at 294 pounds. Last time a guy showed up that heavy was, what's his name? Zhilei Zhang. And you saw how he looked against, whatchamacallit? Against Parker. Dropped him but couldn't put him down. And he looked ponderous. It looked like taking a step was a big labor or laborious endeavor for Zhang. I mean, it just didn't look good. So I don't understand why Fury would come in at 224. Then again, I was a little skeptical when he went into the Wilder fight at 270 something. I said, oh boy, he's going to be slow. What's he thinking? And it worked out perfectly. So, or maybe it's desperate times call for desperate measures. And even he doesn't know if it's going to work, but he's just trying something different. I don't know. Trying to look here at something. There was a, what time is it? 5:56. So what is this? I got a notification here. I don't know what that was. I don't know. I'm getting, somebody probably will let me know what we got. Anyway, sorry about that, fellas. I was getting messages all over the place. Distracting. I can't work on these conditions. I'm a maestro. I'm an artist. An artist can't work when there's noises all over the place. What did that midget say? Remember that midget that was lambasting the trumpet player in that meme video? That video that went viral a couple of years ago. He goes, "Silence is the necessary condition for an artist's creativeness," something like that. I'm butchering the quote, but it was actually pretty eloquent, pretty good quote that he gave. Just so happened that he was a crazy midget trying to attack a trumpet player. Other than that, he was making some sense. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, so Fury is saying a lot of things. First, he's saying in that face-off 2 weeks ago, he said he wasn't going to change a damn thing, and he said no excuses. Subsequently, in the last week, he's been saying that, my training camp wasn't the best, wasn't optimal, and this time it will be. That's what he's saying. So that's essentially what's going on, that That's essentially what's going on here. That he's switching it up every other time. He's saying, I'm going to do this, and then, I'm not going to change anything. And then he goes, well, yeah, I didn't have the greatest training camp. And thinking, okay, so which one is it? Was it a good training camp or wasn't it? And the reason why I mentioned that is because there was this Boxing 24 blog post where Fury is now saying that he actually should have delayed the fight a second time, the first time around. I mean, what? So, first of all, now he's saying that, no, well, I couldn't do it because, you remember, guys, it was that $1 million fine or whatever. But it's insane that he's saying, well, I should have. Now he's making an excuse straight up. What did he say exactly? Let's go and see what he said. He says, this time it's been a lot easier. Speaking about the training camp, I've done lots of sparring and I've been able to train properly. Whereas before, it's no secret that I didn't do a lot of sparring. Okay, guys, right off the bat, you guys fact check this for me. Was it a well-known fact going into the first fight that he didn't do a lot of sparring? I don't know. He's blaming the cut because of that. But if I remember correctly, in the build up to the first fight, he was saying he was in fantastic shape. Everything's going great, which this is what comes to my mind when I hear Fury with saying this and then switching it up a week later. He had 2 horrible training camps too. He had, according to him, the one for the rubber match against Wilder and the one for Ngannou. Now, for the Wilder one, he said, oh, it's because my daughter, right? He had something about his newborn daughter. Okay, fair enough. Then the Ngannou one, he had another. The Ngannou one, he said going into the fight, oh yeah, I'm in the best shape of my life, blah, blah, blah. But then he showed up, I think, half a pound or even a pound heavier than he did for the Wilder rubber match, which he said he didn't train properly for. So if we're able to extrapolate anything from that, is that he didn't train properly for the Ngannou fight. And I mean, the performance spoke for itself. So again, you got one case of Fury telling you something in the build to a fight. In this one, the Ngannou one, oh yeah, I'm in great shape. I train hard. And then it turns out he didn't. So same thing here. You take what he says with a grain of salt, and on top of that, a grain of pepper, a grain of cinnamon, and whatever else you want to add to it. What else was he saying here? So yeah, so that's his excuse. I didn't do a lot of sparring because it would have pushed it back a bit. It would have cost me 10 million pounds. But it doesn't really matter because we're here now, and I'm going to do the job on Saturday. Now, if I remember correctly, he's also calling for a knockout. He says he's going to smash Usyk. Smash him right in proper, I believe was a quote. So we'll see what happens with that. Actually, let me give you another quote. A straight up quote that he said. By the way, fellas, make sure to call in. The phone lines are open. We're going to be here for another half hour. And like I said, then we're moving on to the Discord for a live film analysis. It's not going to be live on the air, but it's going to be recorded, and we're going to be posting it on the Patreon for free. What are people in the chat saying? Super Sardonic says, none of them were around for pre-Klitschko fair weather fans. No, what's he saying? If Fury loses again, his fans will go into mourning. If he somehow loses to AJ, they will disappear forever. Yeah, I think losing to Usyk isn't that bad because Usyk has proven to be the best heavyweight. But AJ, on the other hand, can't lose to that guy. It's a guy that's been dropped numerous times. It's a guy that's perceived as being mentally weak. Definitely can't lose to that guy. Shout out to Telkines said, Fury will knock Usyk's spark out. Ooh, okay, we got a Fury prediction, and I'm going to be writing all of that down. That's what I'm going to be doing right now. Telkines. Hey, what the? Oh, the document isn't open. This modification because document is open for viewing only. Well, how do I? All right. Seems I can't modify the document. That's great. Butcher sent me the document. I can't even modify it for some reason. There's a feature that says modify. No, can't modify it. So I don't know what's going on here. Butcher, if you're listening, I know, what do I do, man? You got a lot to say. Help me out here now. I need the help. Actually, let me download the document again. Maybe that'll work. I got to tell you, Microsoft, does anyone still use Microsoft or no, it's not working. This is great, man. Sends me a document I can't even modify. Anyway, Telkines, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I do have pen and paper here. I'm going to do it old school. I'm going to write them down on paper here. Hold on a second. Telkines says, hold on, where's his prediction? Fury will knock Usyk spark out. You don't want to give a round there, Telkines? Fury knock KO. All right. There we go. So I got your prediction down there. I'm not going to start opening up more shit now. It's going to take too long. I'll start copy pasting stuff. Oh, hold on a second. You guys hear that? I know you heard that. All right. Telling you, man, a lot going on here. Shout out to Trey Ason for his contribution to the super chat. Was that him? Yeah, I think him. He says, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Usyk in 9. Wait a minute, wasn't that yesterday? Who was it? Well, if it wasn't Trey Ason, then... Oh, yeah, he was. Shout out to him. It says, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Usyk in 9. Shout out to Trey Ason. And yeah, I saw the new list there, Butcher, but I mean, I'm not going to start copy-pasting stuff and opening up new windows. No, that takes more time. So I'm just going to write these down for the moment, and then I'll add them later. And I think we already had Trey Ason's prediction, but I'm going to write it anyway. What do you think about that? Write it twice. And he said, what did he say again? In 9, right? Because it rhymed. Yep, 9 rounds. All right. Usyk in 9. Yeah, and you know what? As we're gonna see later on with the with the film analysis that we're gonna be doing later on the Discord, I do think Fury, like I said, I think Fury is gonna switch it up. I do think he's gonna stand his ground more, or even try to back Usyk up. But the problem is, Fury drops his hands, and a lot of people say, well, the reason why he got caught in the first fight in the 9th round was because he got tired. But if you rewatch, and I'm gonna show you examples of that. Even in the first rounds, he was coming in with his hands down. Sometimes he would come in with a jab and try to shoot an uppercut, and he was wide open for that jab. So it's not a question of him being tired. It's just a question of bad fundamentals, which got him caught twice against Wilder as well. I think Butcher mentioned that if you rewatch the first Wilder fight and the third one when he got dropped, it's because he was acting like a maniac. And in fact, you know, he got hurt badly in the 9th round against Usyk, and then did he get caught again? Did he ever get wobbled or hurt as bad as well? No, because he put his hands up. That's what he needs to do. Again, I'm not saying Usyk can't hurt him at any point in the fight if Fury makes adjustments. But what I'm saying is Fury, the reason why he got caught in the 9th round, because he was making fundamental mistakes. And you got to assume that he's going to switch it up. And I'm going to show you later on in the film analysis how he can do that. But like I said, we got phone lines open, fellas, so make sure to call in, give us your predictions. Phone number's right there. So make sure to call in, give us your thoughts on anything and everything as it pertains to boxing. Let me read a couple more comments here. Some rando says Fury by KO stoppage, and he puts an exclamation point. Okay, now is he being... Are you being serious there, some rando, or are you just saying that to be provocative? Because now more people maybe are saying that just to be on the other side of the fence. I don't know, but I'm going to write it down here. Some rando says Fury KO. No round, but maybe you don't have to give a round. Handful of boxing reviews says Fury should go herky-jerky, switch southpaw, lots of feints. Incidentally, handful of boxing, you read my mind, because if you rewatch the Chisora fight, Chisora, who was going forward, would switch. He was switch hitting as he was coming forward. And when he would do that, he would actually set up Usyk. He was setting him up all night for a southpaw jab. And Usyk never seemed to be able to solve that. Chisora was creeping forward, switch hitting, and catching him with that jab. So maybe Fury can do something similar. I don't know. Uncle Tom says Fury versus Usyk is a domestic level match. No one is talking about it. Domestic level? How can it be a domestic level if both guys are from different countries? I mean, it would make sense if it was two British guys and then you said, oh, these guys are domestic level. But it makes no sense to call two guys from different countries domestic. I mean, I understand what you're saying is you don't think highly of them, but still, it's not the correct nomenclature. Handful of boxes. Keith Richards from Rolling Stone says it's a space between the notes that matter as much as the notes themselves. Well, that is true. That is true. It gives a little bit more rhythm. Super Sodonic says Parker had a good run. He should just retire and go back to running his meth ring. Oh, come on. Green Reaper says Fury's punch technique hasn't been the best. He flicks and slaps a lot. That is true. That is true. As we're going to see later on, though, in the film analysis that's going to be taking place off the air, his slaps are actually pretty heavy. So he doesn't need to load up on any one punch. I see we got a phone call. Well, let's go to the phone calls here. Let's go to 214. 214, you're in the air. 214, what's on your mind?
Hey, you on this Real Talk Boxing?
What's up, man?
Hey, man, I got Usyk by late stoppage. I would say fourth quarter, but I'm leaning towards like 11th round.
11th round for Usyk. All right. What was your prediction in the first fight? Just out of curiosity.
I had Usyk also in the first fight. I actually had, I was on Ring IQ. I had a Ukrainian flag and I had a Usyk shirt.
Wait. You were on the show wearing that, you're saying, or your avatar was? I don't get it.
No, I actually have Usyk merch, and after he won, I got a tattoo for Usyk. It's a white rabbit with boxing gloves.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I swear to God, you can go look on my page. It's on my community post.
Yeah,
I got a tattoo for Usyk. It's a white rabbit with boxing gloves in Ukrainian colors.
Where is the tattoo located, if I may ask?
My left forearm.
Your left forearm?
Yeah, the left hook.
Oh, okay, the left hook. I gotcha. So you're a pretty big Usyk fan then, safe to say.
Yeah, I've been following him for a few years now.
Now, when you say you're wearing the Usyk flag, you're wearing the Usyk merch, you got the Ukrainian flag. May I ask, what nationality are you?
I'm Hispanic. I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Hispanic, Dallas, Texas. Were you born in the U.S.?
Yeah, I was born and raised right here, West Dallas.
But you're rocking with the Ukrainians, what you're saying?
Yeah. Slava Ukraina.
No, by the way, no swastikas on your body, right?
No.
I had to ask.
No, because it's funny. I actually just showed my homie that the format of Usyk staring at Fury and Fury not looking. He's like, man, it looks like a Hitler ass man. I was like, oh yeah, that's actually
wait.
pretty funny.
That tattoo you got kind of looks like Hitler's. What you're saying?
No. The Usyk and Fury format, the meme where Usyk is staring at Fury, and Fury refuses to look at Usyk. I showed him that, and he was like, "Usyk kind of looks like Hitler." I'm like, "Yeah, kind of does." Stumpy. He looks a little stumpy compared to Fury.
There was a guy here in my neck of the woods in Montreal in the 1990s. He was the head of the Hells Angels. The eyes, he was a total psychopath. His eyes remind me of Usyk's eyes. I think Usyk's got the
those crazy fuck me eyes.
Then, I don't know why you would go with the fuck me thing, but he's got hawk predator eyes. And no, not sexual predator. Christ. I know people in the chat are gonna go straight to the sexual thing.
They're called fuck me eyes, bro.
Not fuck me. Listen, real talk. You're what the fuck? The hysterical. All right, listen. Hey, by the way, I'm curious, real quick, because you're a big Usyk fan. There's a lot of Fury fans out there who seems to be crazy. I know the Usyk fans are very passionate as well. If Fury wins, and let's say it's a close fight, are you okay? Would you be okay with I'm asking you the Donald Trump question. Like, you know, if you lose the election, are you gonna be okay? If Fury wins, are you gonna be okay?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not one of those ones who's like, I'm gonna say, oh, robbery this, robbery that. But I am a part of the people who believe that Turkey's kind of showing his hand that he kind of would like a trilogy. The AJ fight is on the table. I'm not stupid. I know that it would be nice if Fury won. I was here watching. I was listening in the other day, and it would be better for Fury to win. It would be better for boxing because that opens up the door to more fights. But I broke it down on another boxing channel that when it comes down to the nuts and bolts boxing, Fury actually doesn't do anything better than Usyk. The only thing he has is size, and here Usyk shows it time and time again that size isn't going to beat him. So I genuinely believe that Fury doesn't have anything for Usyk.
Wait a minute. We got well. I mean, yeah. Well, that's one way of looking at it, because I'm also skeptical about whether Fury's approach, whether it's to be more aggressive, is actually going to work. Can I just say somebody just found this?
Because
yeah.
Well, if you think about it, he got caught when he was coming forward. So if you're going to be coming forward more, you're just going to get caught sooner. And if you're coming in heavier, you're just going to gas out sooner. So we look at it as like, oh, well, Fury got lazy. He was throwing lazy punches. He got gassed out. Well, Usyk did that to him. Like a fighter doesn't just gas out on their own, especially when you're fighting Usyk. And you see that Usyk is a consummate professional. He stays healthy year-round. Fury's face planting outside of bars. I honestly believe that all of his partying and abuse of his body is catching up with him, and
good.
It's not a good look for Fury.
Well, I mean, depends on, with the country music gang, that could be a good look. They like that, a guy who parties, a guy who goes, they like a phoenix story, rising from the ashes.
Right, yeah.
But you're right, though. It's not a good look in the sense that, again, this dude says, I'm in the best shape of my life. And then after the fight, when he looks back, he goes, well, I didn't have a good training camp. So he's always saying one thing, and then the next week he changes it up. By the way, somebody just sent me, I don't know if you can look at the screen. Somebody just sent me this. Is this your tattoo? It says Slava Ukraini, dedicated to the undisputed king of the heavyweights, Alexander the White Rabbit Usyk. And it's a rabbit with a yellow... Yeah?
Yeah, that's me, brother.
Now, may I ask, they also showed me a picture of your account. Why is there a black guy on it?
Are you talking about my picture?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be Mario Barrios.
The black guy is supposed to be Mario Barrios?
You talking about my picture or on my actual page?
It says Real Talk Boxing. Maybe that's not the same. Maybe that's not you, man. Okay, no, excuse me. It's another Real Talk Boxing.
Yeah, there's another content creator that is a black guy. I know you're talking about.
I was gonna say, do you have a voice changer or something? It's like you. Meanwhile, deep down inside, in the back, yo, what's up, man? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, no, there's like a couple of memes on my profile, but no, that's.
Well, listen,
I'm not black.
So last question. If Usyk pulls it off, are you going to get yourself another tattoo?
Yes, I am actually.
Is that right? Okay. Do you want to give us a little preview of what it's going to be?
I'm not entirely sure yet. I'll probably start thinking of ideas depending on how he beats him. If it's a by KO, it'll be something a little bit more extravagant. But if it's another, comfortable decision, it'll probably be him. The left hook from the first fight when he fucking hit, when he hit him with the left hook and bounced him around, that'll probably be something like that.
Hey, can I ask you how long did
a rabbit and a fat bag of milk?
How long did that tattoo take to mark on your body?
It's not that big. It's only about like $50 size, so it only took like 4 or 5 hours with smoke breaks in between.
Because I was gonna say, it doesn't look full color. Like it looks like one of those tattoos kids get. The temporary tattoo. Does it look more?
Yeah, right. Okay.
Does it look fuller, or is that how you want it to go? Because it looks. I don't know much about tattoos, by the way, as you can tell. But is it supposed to be that light?
Well, I actually don't have very many, so obviously more will be built around it.
Oh,
but
okay.
No, it's just it was just something that I got specifically for that fight. I actually don't have anything on my left arm. I have tattoos on my right arm and on my back, but I don't actually have anything on my left arm.
If I was ever gonna get a tattoo, it was gonna be the Silver Scrolls, which are the dictum of the Crimson Inquisition. The Silver Scrolls, which are about the Crimson Inquisition that's going to be taking place 5 years henceforth. But anyway, the point is, we don't need to get into that right now. The point is that, we're looking forward to the Usyk-Fury fight. Shout out to you, Real Talk. Thanks for calling in. Call back next time, right, man?
For sure. God bless, brother.
Right on. Right back at you. Take it easy, man. All right. So you can see people are getting excited about this fight, and I'm right there with you. I'm looking forward to this fight. Now, I'm not as excited as Frank Warren, talking about how these guys got big this, big that. We don't need to go into that. Never Sobers in the chat says BDA is going to get a tramp stamp. First of all, why would I do that? I just told you that if I ever get... you know what? I don't even know why I'm addressing Never Sobers. Ridiculous comment, disrespectful and unchristian. How about that? Gene Ryu says, I heard BDA you would get a scrotum. Okay, I don't even... just the sound of that... Muhammad Amhard Bruce Lee says BDA has a juicy tramp stamp. No, I don't. What is that? You know what? Muhammad Amhard Bruce Lee, you got a tattoo in your back. It's an arrow pointing down to your ass and it says cum dumpster. How about that? You think I'm playing over here, fellas? Come at me. You'll see what happens. I got a big everything too. How about that? Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Really helps us out. Let me read a couple of more comments here. Hold on a second. People are saying, Super Stardonic says, let's not pretend Usyk won't be making adjustments either. Two cerebral fighters in there. Yeah, and I got to tell you, Usyk can fight backing up. It's just that, and this is one of the reasons why I really like Usyk and watching him fight, is that he could be running around the ring like a rabbit. You know, Fury goes, oh, he's a little rabbit, he's a little rabbit. Well, the little rabbit was pressuring you. Usyk could be fighting like a back foot bitch. He could be fighting in the ass style. One shot at a time, running around the ring, clinching, shaking his ass, but he doesn't do that. Look at the Dubois fight. He's fighting a bigger man, and he's backing him up. Look at the fights against Joshua. He wasn't running around the ring. He was standing in front of him. Maybe not necessarily pushing him back like he did with Dubois or Fury, but close enough. So, the less you think that if Fury comes at him and Usyk's just going to stand there, you got another thing coming to you, buddy. But the big question for me, though, is, and somebody else brought it up. I think Boxing News, which is a British publication, on their YouTube channel, they made a compilation of asking experts who they think is going to win the rematch. And one guy, I don't know who he was, because I was listening, I wasn't watching it, but one guy said something that I've been saying for a while now, which is, does Usyk have any wear and tear? That's going to be an interesting question here, because when he fought Chisora 4 years ago in 2021, 3 years ago, he was moving a lot. Chisora, yeah, shorter guy, definitely shorter than he was shorter than Usyk. What am I saying? He was 6'1" compared to Usyk 6'3". So it's a different dimension. It's a different look. The punches are coming upward as opposed to downward. Nevertheless, Chisora was a bigger guy because he outweighed Usyk by about 30-something pounds. And Usyk, it was difficult the first couple of rounds. He had to deal with this grizzly bear coming at him, trying to maul him. Then as the fight settled on, as early as the fourth, Chisora started breathing heavily, and Usyk got a little bit more comfortable. But he could never actually get fully comfortable because, like I said, Chisora was hitting him with some good jabs. He was shifting as he was coming forward, switching stances as he did so, and then jabbing him, catching him with a heavy southpaw jab. So maybe Fury can do something like that. And again, Usyk was able to do that 3 years ago, but he's 30. He's going to be 38 in a couple of weeks. It's a lot of wear and tear on his body from not only fighting bigger guys, but sparring bigger guys. And remember, this is a guy who has said publicly that he has to eat a lot to maintain his weight or fighting weight. So again, that he's redlining his body. So I know it's a risk in saying, well, this guy's gonna get old overnight, blah blah blah. Because again, the thing that a lot of people do mention about Usyk is that he trains diligently. He's always in shape. But you just never know. I mean, like Steve Kim said, he was quoting Larry Merchant about... he was using a Larry Merchant quote to illustrate the upset that took place this past Saturday between Munguia and Suras. And he said, that's why they fight the fights. Because it's easy to say, well, this guy has a better resume, or, oh, the eye test, this guy got better skills. But you just never know what's going to happen once they actually step in the ring. There's a lot of factors, a lot of variables. Whether a guy's injured, whether a guy gets injured during a fight. You just never know. So that's why we're very interested on watching this fight, or at least I am. Let's go to our phone call here. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. 410, you on the air. 410, what's on your mind? 410, you on the air. Can you hear me? 410, going once,
Thank you for calling BDA Boxing.
Hello.
You may listen to the show while waiting.
Hold on
A
a second,
beeping
hold on.
noise will indicate when you are on with the host.
What is this? All right, what's going on, man? Hold on, let me see. Hello, you're 410. Can you hear me? I guess the call dropped. Sorry about that, fellas. I don't know what happened. You heard something was going on with the phone lines there. Hello. There's a feedback loop of some sort going on. But Okua says BDA using autotune. I was not using autotune. Why would I use? I don't even. You know what? Autotune. That's one interesting thing. It's been around for a while. Since somebody told me since the 80s, and I know it was around longer than people had access to, because it actually started becoming more accessible through DAWs in the 2010s or 2000s. But it goes back a long way, right? Where they would actually use it just sparingly to fix little pitch notes or whatever that didn't sound well. But yeah, man, apparently it's been around for a while. Hold on a second. Yeah. All right, what is it? Okay, somebody's calling back here. 410, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties there. What's up, Jerry?
Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight this weekend. I'm a fan of both guys. The first fight was a damn good fight. Close fight. I had Usyk winning by 2 points, which was the big round that he had where he scored the knockdown. He had Tyson Fury out on his feet. That's the second time Tyson Fury has come as close to a fighter can get to being stopped, without being stopped. But in both instances, it was the right decision. In the Wilder fight, he popped up there and he was on his feet at 9. The ref allowed it to continue because he was responsive, and he finished the round backing Wilder up and landing shots on him. So, I'm not a fan of quick stoppages. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. In the Fury-Usyk fight, you could argue that he could have been stopped. And the ref, you see, he at one point he jumped, and it was like he was just about to stop it, and Fury fell into the corner, and the ropes kept him up, which was cause for a knockdown and a count, and that saved him. It was very dramatic. But for people that think that Usyk will blow Tyson Fury out, I don't know why they would think that, because the first 2 rounds of that fight were like a lot of professional fights. They were very hard to decide because very little was thrown by either guy and very little was landing. They were feeling each other out. But from the 3rd round up until, 6th, 7th round, Fury was outboxing Usyk. He was timing him with headshots and body shots. Usyk was doing the same thing at the same speed, the same way, over and over and over. And it almost looked at one point around the 5th or 6th round that he was schooling him almost. That's Fury schooling Usyk. And I told my wife, I said, boy, Usyk, he's got to do something. He's got to do something to turn his fight around. And just when I said that, he landed a sweeping left hook on Tyson Fury's nose. And it didn't appear to hurt him in a concussive way, but he didn't like that shot. He felt that right on the nose. And then I think it was the very next round, he caught him with the same shot, but this time it hurt him concussively, and we seen what happened, which edged Usyk the fight. But very close fight, still, even with that big round. So if Fury can stay focused, that's going to be the whole thing. He seemed to play, he got to playing too much, and it cost him. So, I'm looking forward to a competitive fight. Not sure who's going to win it. It's hard to say. But I'd be shocked if it wasn't a competitive fight like the first one.
Yeah. What the fuck? Hold on a second. Yeah, sorry about that. It's interesting. You mentioned that a lot of people feel like, I'm looking at one comment here from the Quags. Shout out to the Quags. He says, Fury won 3 rounds. The coping is ridiculous on here. I mean, that's it. 3 clear rounds, all for Fury. That's it. That's all he gave him. Again, I'm telling you, this is why, even let's say he won 3 rounds. Usyk said after the fight that they asked him, is Fury the best guy you've ever fought? And he says, yeah. Now, why wouldn't he say that about Joshua? Why wouldn't he say that about Brady's? Why wouldn't he say that about Gassiev? Because it was a tough fight. I don't know if you saw it, Jerry, but in the last episode, we showed a clip of Usyk going to his dressing room after the fight. He was being held up by one of his entourage. So I don't know, man. It's finding a guy who's 6'8", who outweighs him by 30 pounds. Whatever he hits Usyk with, to the body, to the shoulders, whatever, it's going to hurt him. It's going to leave him hurting is what I'm saying. So it was a taxing fight. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. It was a damn good fight. I personally thought Fury was going to do more holding and leaning on Usyk, and maybe credit Usyk that he didn't allow him, but I didn't see Fury really attempt to do it once or twice. But I thought a better strategy for him would be to stay close to Usyk and smother him and lean and lay on him for 3 or 4 rounds, and then see how his legs feel with that big oafy-doke dude, hanging on top of you, kind of like he did to Wilder at every chance he got. And Wilder's much taller than Usyk, but he was able to do it to him. But he didn't seem to try to do it that much. He came to fight. Both of them did, and it was a great fight. I thought, maybe a modern-day classic. And it had some drama there, but getting back to the knockdown, like I say, Fury came so close to being stopped, but in the end, the ref made the right decision because he fought on the rest of the fight. He never went down again, and he was competitive, He may even nicked a couple of those rounds after that round, but the impression had been made because he was out on his feet. He's got to avoid circumstances like that. But yeah, Fury's too big, oafy-doke, bounded, and it's not easy fighting him. I don't care who you are. If he really had real power that matched his size, he'd be unstoppable, But there's other factors that weigh in to these things, and one is Fury's success and his money and where his head game is at. And the other one is Usyk's age. How old is Usyk? 37? I could catch up to him at any point,
So what's your official prediction?
Other factors. I'm going to go with Fury in a close one. A close one that some people are going to say Usyk should have got the decision. I'm going to do that. But I'll tell you with that, I'm only doing that because, got to make a pick. The fight's, this weekend? So, I'll make a pick. But to me, it's one of them fights that, it's impossible to pick because it could go any way. I mean, for all we know, Usyk could catch Fury early and get an early stoppage. That could happen. It can happen the reverse way, although I feel like that might be a little more unlikely, but you never know. But I don't know. Just judging from what I've seen, and in the first fight, the biggest question mark for me is where is Fury's mind game at? Is he really focused, and is he really training? Now, one thing makes me optimistic that he is typically Fury is all over the place during the promotion of a fight, and I haven't seen that for this fight. Seems like he's you're not hearing much or seeing, he's usually doing the zany and talking crazy and stuff. And for this one, unless I'm missing something, it just seems like he not seeing that from him. That could either mean he's really focused or he's entirely checked out. So we'll see.
Yeah.
However, win, lose, or draw, if Fury loses, I think his next fight's going to be AJ regardless, even if he loses.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, it's a lot of money there, even if both guys are coming off losses. All right, well, listen, Jerry, thank you for your call.
They're not going to leave that money on the table. They're not going to leave it on the table, even if he loses. I heard Eddie Hearn saying the other day, that's a great fight, and even if Fury loses, it's still a great fight, and it is, and I'd watch it.
Exactly. Yeah,
but
I'd watch it.
Thanks for taking my call, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Call back next time. Take it easy out there.
Yep.
All right, yeah, I mean that Joshua Fury. I mean, he would do well at the gate in England, no matter if both guys are coming off losses. I mean, look at Kell Brook versus American. I mean, it seemed, I don't know, I didn't even check the numbers. Could have been maybe they lost money on that fight, but it seemed like they were doing a preview show for it. I think it was pay-per-view over there too, wasn't it? Wowee. Listen, fellas, don't forget to hit the like. In about 5 minutes now, unless anybody calls in, I think we're going to switch on over to the open lines Discord, and we're going to be doing a live film analysis over there. Not on the air, but it will be recorded and posted on our Patreon for free, by the way. Free Patreon for you guys. Shout out to Jesus Pardo for his contribution with the super chat. He says, a tattoo of Usyk. Steers and queers do come from Texas. Come on. Come on, man. The guy was passionate enough to get himself a tattoo to commemorate his favorite fighter, and you guys out there are clowning him. Come on now. That's not the spirit of the BDA organization. You guys are better than that. Usually we all prop each other up here. Everybody helps each other out. Everybody pats each other on the back. Emotional support. This isn't that type of community where people are always, calling each other gay, trannies, transpires, which is a transvestite that only comes out at night. Come on, guys. What else was I going to say about that real quick? Okay, so I'm taking down the predictions. Brown Gun says, that's gay BDA. Usyk fans are gay. You're not helping there, Brown Gun. You're not helping. Protector General says, will they make it for a WBO interim belt? I guess he's talking about Fury Joshua, if that happens. 8 count says Usyk was gone after that fight. Fury looked fine. I mean, again, that's the way it looked like in the video, but I don't know. It's maybe Usyk was just... Again, I should have said it looked as if he was being propped up by one of his entourage. But I don't know. Again, I'd have to rewatch the clip there. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I was going to say something else about... I had other things to look at here. Tony Bellew is talking about that. He's saying... Because, again, the big question coming into this fight is, will Tyson Fury try to switch it up and somehow fight a different fight? By the way, Michael Poe in the chat says, put me down for Usyk on points. All right, Michael, I'm going to write that down right now. Poe says Usyk decision. By the way, as much as I'm talking about how Fury could make this more difficult and how I do believe the first fight was quite taxing on Usyk's body, I'm still going with Usyk. That's about as safe bet as there is in boxing, but I am less confident in beating him today than I was for the first fight. And if you guys join us for the live film analysis we're going to be doing, you'll understand why. But at the same time, there's a good chance he probably pulls it off anyway. But that's the other thing. People are saying, well, the Sheik seems to want to do a rubber match, so they'll probably give it to Fury. But again, the Sheik appears to be involved in this for the fun of it and to waste money on these fights. He doesn't seem to be... Again, it's not the same old Vegas model or any other model from other countries where they're spending a lot of money on these fights. Listen, these promoters, they're bean counters. They want to make a profit. The Sheik, he's not terribly interested in that. It seems like he really does want to see the winner, or just the best man win is what I'm trying to say. May the best man win, that's it. No hijinks, no shenanigans. Now, the Beterbiev-Bivol fight, to me, I rewatched it. I thought Bivol won, even though it was very competitive. But so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misjudged it, and there was no hijinks going on in that fight. But that one, it does seem like, some people were saying afterwards, oh, well, the Sheik gave it to the Muslim guy. And how he would do that, I don't know. How does he relay that message to the judges? Does he do it in real time? Again, it's a very convoluted theory, so I'm not prepared to go there yet. But like I said, so the big question is Fury going to fight a different way? And if he does, will it be effective? Well, Tony Bellew, a guy who's very familiar with Usyk, as he gave him some tough early rounds in their fight back in 2018 and then succumbed to a big left hand from Usyk. By the way, Tony Bellew, one of the things he said about Usyk was he tires you out because he's just doing a lot in that ring. He's throwing feints at you, in and out, punches from all angles. And then on top of that, he has his own gas tank, which is one of the best in boxing. So it was just a disaster for Bellew in the later rounds. So this is what he had to say about Fury. He says, I have no idea what happens in the rematch. I thought Usyk would win the first time, but never in a million years anticipated he'd win the way he won. I never thought he could push him back like that. Do I think he can do it in the rematch? If he chooses to push him back again in the rematch, he won't catch him by surprise, because he 100% took Fury by surprise the first time. He's talking about the first time. This time, he won't be able to do that. Now, that's an astute point right there. Fury knows that Usyk is going... Because here's the thing, and we're going to look at this in the film analysis off the air. I think Usyk has to fight coming forward. I don't know if he can actually beat Fury decisively on the back foot, because that would force him into a fencing game. And if you saw when he was having success was when he was pushing Fury back, when Fury was leaning back, unable to counter and wide open for shots upstairs or to the body. But if they stand their ground, they have a fight in the middle of the ring. I don't know if it's as decisive for Usyk. And that's the thing. Fury knows that that's probably how Usyk's going to fight again. So Bellew goes on. I do believe that if Usyk goes on the back foot, he wins every single round. He's the hardest man in the world to hit. If you let Usyk go on the back foot and you press him all night, you're in trouble. You're not going to catch him. Well, I don't know about that, because Chisora was catching him plenty back in 2021. So then he says, just watch the Murat Gassiev fight, and you'll understand why that's why I chose to box Usyk. Chasing him is the worst thing in the world you can do. I mean, it's true that the Gassiev fight was very one-sided, save for that counter right hand from Gassiev in the 5th round, I want to say, or 6th round. But Gassiev is a different fighter from Fury. I mean, Gassiev, as we saw later on against Otto Wallin, is a guy that if you don't give him an opening, he won't create an opening. He's a very inactive type of fighter. I dare say, from the outside, he's very inaccurate. Fury, he's a big old lummox. He can absorb more shots and keep on coming forward. I mean, who gave Usyk a better fight? So it just, I mean, not only stylistically, but in terms of size, of course, that's a big difference between those guys. So I don't, the Gassiev comparison there, or example that Bellew gave, I don't think it's merited. And one last thing before, oh yeah, so this is what Turki Al-Sheikh went on to say on Twitter. He said they're going to be using AI as a 4th unofficial, mind you, judge, just to keep track of what's going on in the fight. He says, for the first time ever, an AI-powered judge will monitor the fight, free from bias and human error, brought to you by The Ring, which, by the way, I think they're relaunching the website tomorrow. This groundbreaking experiment, which won't impact the official results, debuts during the biggest fight. Okay, so first of all, can we stop calling these algorithms or whatever, these bots, AI? It's not AI yet, and I'm tired. I've talked about this on the Second Renaissance. It's one big psyop to start getting people prepped and ready for potential AI overlords. This ain't AI yet, all right? Just hold your horses when it comes to that. And second of all, is this going to just create more controversy if it's a close fight? I don't know if official judges actually like this. Because if it actually turns out to be better than a judge, then A, the judges are out of a job in the future, and B, it could potentially expose it. Because we already expose judges as being biased or being incompetent. And although there's a minority of people, and there was one guy who called in, and he goes, you can never argue with the judges because they're trained and blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, well, judges are in the court of law are trained too, so are lawyers, and some of them are downright incompetent or corrupt. Just because they're trained doesn't make them better than and this isn't a court of law, this is boxing. There's people out there, such as people on this panel, who have been watching boxing and been practicing the sport for years, and they know what they're watching. And if they see a fight and a result that shouldn't be going that way, or that went the wrong way, we can call it out. So this could actually end up being good. It could actually end up exposing some of these judges who, by the way, these judges, they never have to explain themselves. They never have to. They score their fight and then they leave the building. You can't catch up to them. I don't know, they melt into the wall or something. I don't know, they just vamoose. they vanish. But if you were able to catch one of them, such as that judge from the Joshua-Usyk rematch, who somehow judged it for Joshua, and they caught him after the fight, they asked him, hey, how did you score that for Joshua? My goodness gracious, the amount of stammering that this guy was doing and stuttering, it was insane. Never Sober says AI can easily be corrupted. Well, yeah, that's the other problem too. I mean, there's a lot of problems with this, but I guess we'll keep an eye on it and see what transpires. I'm certainly going to be keeping an eye on this, and I don't trust the machines. You know that already. We had our own negative run-in with a machine. What was it, 5 years ago? We had our own bot called Gaia 500. Ended up turning evil on us. And by the way, that when he told people that he was going to release my depraved, degenerate midget porn collection, that was fake news, and I'll continue to say that's not. There was never any such collection. It was just Gaia acting up. Shout out to Recognize the Matrix for his contribution to the Super Chat. Shout out to him. I mean, not Super Chat. Buy me a coffee. He says, If Fury can stop from coming forward and back him up, Fury can win convincingly. Let me reread that again, because maybe I'm a little fucked up here. If Fury can stop from coming forward and back Usyk up, Fury can win convincingly. Well, I tell you what, recognize we're going to be moving on over to the Open Lines Discord, where we're going to be doing a live film analysis that's going to be off the air, but we're going to be recording it for... Hold on a second. I'm hanging up the phone lines here. We're going to be doing it off the air, but it will be recorded and posted on Patreon. So make sure to go on over there, fellas. Let me put the link in the description right here. But shout out to Recognize, man. You didn't have to do that. But shout out to you. Really appreciate it. You know where the money's going. Keeping our future AI overlords at bay, at least for a little while longer. I'm going to put the invite for the Discord right here. What the fuck? Hidden use copy button. That's what I did. I tell you something, man. Today is hidden. Huh. For some reason, I can't invite people to the... Am I not allowed anymore to invite people? I don't know what's going on. I got to tell you, from start to finish, this show... A lot of things caught me by surprise. I invite people all the time. I don't understand what's going on here. Open Lines Friday. You know what? I'm going to have to go into the settings here live as we do it, because give me 2 seconds here, fellas. Hey, again, don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Yeah, for some reason the invites aren't working. All right, hold on a sec. I think I know another way how to do it here. All right, this shit ain't working. Yeah, I don't understand what I'm trying to copy here. And it ain't working out. Interesting. Oh, yeah, okay, well, so shout out to Multipolarity. Is that him? He says it's in the description, BDA. Yeah, but I mean, I don't even know if it's the right one anymore. That's the only thing. Hopefully it is. If anybody can try it out, make sure to let me know. Hold on a second. Yeah, because we're supposed to... Yeah, it's supposed to be able to invite people here. What's the other thing I wanted to say here? Hold on a second. Trying to look for the link myself in the description. All right, I see it in the description there. Okay. No, actually, I don't see it in the description. What is it? Yeah, somebody said it's in the description. I don't see it. I do not see it. I can't leave unless I put the link, because otherwise people don't know what's going on. So you know what? Let me try a couple of things here and see what happens. The Quack says, I will have to watch thousands of fights to be able to decipher the difference between actions. I don't know what he's saying. Mars says, post that Navarrete breakdown part 2. Yes, I'm about to. I also want to do a little short compilation, just a compilation of his defensive moves, without me talking and pausing it every 2 seconds. Hold on a second. Super Sardonic says BDA 0, modern technology 48. I mean, I gotta tell you, I don't understand. I used to be, when we do the Open Lines Fridays, we can invite anybody. And then for some reason, all of a sudden, there's no invites. And there's no pause or anything on that. So I don't understand what's going on here. Hey, Butcher, if you're listening, check your Slack, man. For some reason, I can't invite people on to the Open Lines Friday Discord. What is this? Edit invite link. Maximum number of users, no limit. Expires after 7 days. You know what? I'm gonna have to generate a new link here, and it's still not working out. All right, hold on a second. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Let me leave you with a little music here. Oh, that ought to keep you on your toes. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, now I'm trying to figure. I'm back here. People are saying nice music. Yeah, it's from Artlist. I'm trying to figure out why I can't invite people over to the Open Lines Friday. I mean, if I can't invite people, it defeats the whole purpose of this project, which is a live film analysis. I gotta tell you, this is insane. Use copy button, which is what I'm doing. This has never happened to me on a Discord before. Actually, let me see if maybe it's a Discord issue. Yeah, I'm trying to invite. You see, I'm trying to invite people to the normal Discord, and it ain't working out. There's something's going on with the Discord. That's Discord's the problem. See, people always assume it's yours truly, Mr. BDA, who's the problem. Not so. I mind my P's and Q's, and the fact that this is happening is indicative of a glitch. But you know what? If I go to the Open Lines Friday episode, I think Bucha always posts the Discord link there. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's there. Hopefully it's the same one. All right, so fellas, I think I found it here. So here it is. Again, for some reason, I can't generate it on the actual Discord, but here we go. That's the Discord link right there. Make sure to join us for a live film analysis we're going to be doing. Mind you, we're going to be off the air, but it will be recorded. So I don't want you guys coming in here and start talking about 6 million. It wasn't 6 million. I got the real numbers. Come on, guys. You're going to get shut down. So make sure to mind your P's and Q's when you come in. And that's about it, fellas. Shout out to everybody who joined us, who contributed with the Super Chat. Everybody that called in. Everybody that, everybody here in the chat, Jay, Veronica, I don't think that's a real person, by the way, Eduardo Kua, Super Sardonic, Never Sobers, Warrior Way, Jin Ryu 33, Zanfer, Handsome Mechanic says BDA is still using a PC from 1999, Mars Boxeo, shout out to him, The Quags, Mr. Medical. When is the film study, he asked. The film study is right after this show, so check out the Discord. Again, the link is there. See, I'm going to be posting it a bunch of times, and I'm going to put it on the big one here. What the fuck? Hold on a second. When is a film study? Is that Jesus, by the way? Is that the Shroud of Turin? There is a link right there. I'm going to post it again and again and again. Live film analysis, fellas, on the Discord. Again, it's going to be recorded, so act in a civil manner, as always. Shout out to Roland with the punches. Shout out to Roland in the house. Who else? Jin Ryu, like I said, Michael Poe, HJ92, Quicksloth, The Quags, Handflow Boxing Review, Protectorate General, Mr. Poe, Alfredo Contreras, The Quags, and if I forget anybody, it's because we got to go. I got to set up for the film analysis. But shout out to you, fellas. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. And we shall catch you on the next one. I believe there's going to be a Friday show. Although I don't know how we're going to be doing it. If we can generate a link for the next time, we're going to be in trouble. Unless this link works. So shout out to you, fellas. Thank you for joining us. Catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Join the Discord for a film analysis coming up in a couple of minutes. Woo!